Next up for the topic Mobility Solutions for Organizations and Employees by Avyens. I would like to call Mr. Seshadri Varanasi, Senior Vice President Sales for South Avyens. Mr. Seshadri Varanasi, he has built a dynamic career reflecting pioneering experience in partnering closely with business unit senior leadership to deliver on strategy and roadmap for business transformation and improve of product outcomes. He possesses extensive experience in producing detailed functional and information requirement models and documentation and directing and coordinating activities concerned with the implementation and carrying out objectives of strategic programs. Over to you, Mr. Sheshadri.
So I thought instead of giving a presentation, I thought I will ask few questions first. All your hands were here. I thought I'll make some hands raise. All right, so I think thanks for the introduction. And I think by now you all know what I do. I try to create some excitement in all the organizations. Because after homes, after our house, when we lock up our houses, and when we come out of the house or when we come out of the office, the first thing that we do is mobility. We need to move out. We need to go out somewhere. And the most exciting parts are automobile these days for any one of us, right? Fancy cars, latest technology cars, a lot of these things. And if these things come with a good tag of something called tax saving or convenience, cost, it adds, it's like icing on the cake, right? So here, I'm going to talk about a few lines about it. I hope you all will catch up those points and maybe we can meet up later, talk about it. So first question, have you all, how many of you have heard of this company called Ayvens India, Ayvens? I'm sure none. I will be surprised if anybody raises their hands. Nobody, right? Okay. How many of you all have heard this company called ALD Automotive? Yeah, 1, 2, yeah, right, good. How many of you all have heard a company called Lease Plan India? Yes, a few more hands. Not many hands though, but okay. So ALD Automotive and Lease Plan were the giants in operating lease, offering car lease policies to various corporates like yours. And both of them have got together. Lease Plan merged into ALD Automotive starting beginning of last year and have formed this company called Ayvens. We are a part of SocGen Group. I'm sure most of you all have heard of Society General Bank, SocGen Bank, yeah. So we are a part of that whole subsidiary of SocGen Bank, and our core product is, operating lease. We lease cars to all the corporates, which is what I've told you. Yeah. So we're currently one of the largest leasing companies in the world. I'll show you the next slides where we are by far. We are about more than 3.7 million cars on global roads, right? So talked about it. And this is our position. After the integration, after the merger, you see Ayvens stands about roughly 45,000 and counting about 1,500 cars every month. So we are going to add about 15,000 cars every month from great corporates like all yours. And the rest of them are there. So we are present, our headquarters is in Mumbai, and we are present in, as you see the slide, so we are in Gurgaon, Calcutta, we have in Hyderabad, of Chennai, obviously, Bangalore, Pune. Yeah, it's a small video to show what we are. All right. Yeah. So I'm sure you all will discuss on the whole day, and a few points that your colleagues have discussed recently is about, one is of course, one of the biggest challenges, attracting the right talent, and the next big challenge is how to retain them for as long as period. So there are so many facilities, so many policies that you all launch to make your employees happy, convenient in your organizations. And one of them is this car lease policy. I've heard it's catching up. It's most of the large corporates, starting from the big fours, the top manufacturers, the SMEs, as a matter of fact, everybody are rushing into leasing of cars from taking a loan for buying cars. Now, why is this transition happening? Any idea why is this transition happening? Why are people moving into the leasing model than owning model? Ownership versus usership is what largely is going to be spoken about now. Yeah. So one point is, cars are dynamically changing, right? Today, earlier were the days where you would only have an LXI, a VXI, a sunroof, or a power steering, and all these points. At least last 10 years ago, this is how people evaluated the cars. I'm sorry, I think there's some flickering, so please bear with it. But today, it's not going to be so. You have a diesel engine, which is almost going away from the market. Then you have the petrol, again, environmental, not too friendly. Then we have the hybrid models. In hybrid, you know, all the hybrid cars, the latest thing which is coming in, you have the combination of the battery and the car. So gone are those days where Honda City gives about 7 or 8 kilometers. Today we're talking about 28, 29 kilometers. Look at the transition. It's almost like riding a bike, more or less. So this technology have played a major role in this, and these are going to come at a cost. Honda City, when it was launched, was about 7.5, 8 lakhs, you all know, a few decades ago, and today it's 27 lakhs. So have our income gone like that? No. The only way we can plan it out is make it more affordable to people. And operating lease is one of the primary ways, or the only ways currently to do it. And why do you like to go to, another point is, why would you have to move to operating lease is obsolescence in technology. We've got hybrid today. You fill the gasoline and then you keep on driving, and then you have the battery charging the engine charging the battery getting exhausted. This cycle keeps on going. The next technology is about plug-in hybrid, where you don't have to have an engine to charge your battery. You can plug it like any other battery car. So your one full tank of petrol can come for 3, 4, 5, 6 months based on your usage. Look at this transition. And another option is, you have a fully I mean, there's a technical name, I don't know if I can recollect it now, but there's a technology where you will have an engine which is only going to charge the battery in the car. It is not meant to power the car. So which means it's going to be a in-house chargeable battery operated car. Look at this changes that's happening. So you will have a petrol engine, car giving about 35, 40 kilometers a liter because of all these things. And then you have the electric vehicles. Most of the large corporates have globally started moving to battery-operated vehicles, where because of environmental friendly, they have a global call, they have a policy they have made globally. So large corporates who have bought more than about 1,500 vehicles for their employees every year have put a standstill saying that starting from Jan 1st, 2025, there will not be an ICE engine, that is internal combustion engines, plying in the premises of the organization, right? So these changes are going to come and with a cost, and operating lease is one of the major role which can play to manage the cost for you. So what are the benefits of operating lease? I don't know if I've jumped the slide. Sorry, just give me a minute. Yeah. So employee retention, offer solutions that do not lead to any additional cost to the company. Operating lease does not add any additional cost. Administrative hassles, who's going to talk to the employees, who's going to convince them, talk to them, manage their paperwork, emotions. All these things are all outsourced to us and offer just You will only be, the organizations will only be, the HRs or the finance, whoever is the owner of the policies, will only be the facilitator of the car lease policy. They're not going to drive it at all. It's all will be driven by Ayvens. We have expertise in our organizations who's going to drive this, customize it to you and to your employees, and start talking to them, right? So what exactly is operating lease? So what do we talk about this operating lease? So this, I'm going to spend a few minutes here. So operating lease of cars is you will only pay for the economic usage value of the car and not for the 100% value of the car. Too much of a definition? Let me put it in numbers. Let's say we take a Honda City car for about 10 lakhs. Somebody contracts it for 3 years and let's say a roughly usage of about 45,000 kilometers. So for this kind of contractual terms, I will expect this car for a 3-year driven car, for 45,000 kilometers driven car, will sell for about 5.5 lakhs at the end of the tenure. Let's say if you were to buy this car and sell it after this kind of usage, you will get back 5.5 lakhs. So in operating lease, I give you the risk of the resale value. There is a risk of the resale value. 5.5 lakhs is what I'm assuming. I'm giving it to you day one. So what I charge you, what Ayvens charges you, is only for 4.5 lakhs and not for the 5.5 lakhs. So bank EMI versus the car rentals, there'll be a huge dip in my rentals because you're going to pay only for the usage cost and not for the 100% value of the car. Of course, I'm going to charge you interest on whole of 10 lakhs because that's my payout to the dealer. Day 0, I have to cut a check of 10 lakhs to him for him to register the vehicle and give it to you. But principal collection, like a bank where they recollect complete 10 lakhs from you, I will only recollect 4.5 lakhs from you. So look at this benefit. A 35,000 rupees EMI will come down to just a 23,000 rupees rentals. And over and above that, you will have your tax benefit because it is reduced from your taxable salary. What your AP or your payroll does is, after all the policy signing, if 1 lakh is your salary and 25,000 rupees is, let's say 20,000 rupees is the rental, your taxable salary will be 80,000 rupees. This will not be shown. So that's how the market is practicing. That's how it's been done, including the large corporates, whoever are there. So, and then obviously 30% of 20,000 is your net outflow. So 12,000 rupees or 14,000 rupees will be your outflow for this thing because 20 has been reduced and 30% on that is what you're going to get. So this has been the USP and this is where people get into operating lease. And over on top of this, being a fleet management company, what else can we do? We can start offering maintenance, insurance, you package everything. Except for driving and fueling, everything else is there in the rental. There's nothing that you have to do. And the whole thing gets reduced from your salary and get a tax benefit on the whole thing. So there is no down payment, there's a tax benefit, cost, convenience, management, everything is done. It's all bundled and you get the car for you. Right, so this is how it works. And to what all can we give? I'll skip this slide, I've talked about it. So we have cars to be given as perks to the senior management if you decide so. Tool for trade, you have a sales and service team, you need a specific car, one kind of car which has to go to your entire team. Yes, we can do that. We can come and sit with you, customize our decisions and then, discussions and then do it for you. And then the employee cars, which is the largest ambit here. Employee cars, which is, thousands of employees who are there in your organization need this car policy, and then we do this for you. Right, so I'll just run it through. I think I have just 2 minutes. It's a hard stop. Okay, so if you were to buy large cars for your management team, how does it work? You'll have to shop. There'll be a huge deployment of cash because they don't come at cheap. They don't come cheap anyway. They're more than 1 crore if you even go for a cars like Mercedes E-Class and all that, exorbitantly high. So that part is taken care, and then they need specialized and customized and private kind of services where all the services has to be included and they has to be handheld at any given point of time for for the senior members. So that will be taken care of. And then you tool for trade, I talked about it. So you have any specific team in your organization who needs to be mobile all the time, like medical reps or service agents. You must have seen this cars called Hilti. Is our most prominent example for this. You have this red color car, Swift or Volkswagen Polo as such, where you have Hilti written. They contract you for all your household maintenance. So the entire 1,000 odd cars are leased by Ayvens. Their service team has to be on the move. There's a customized toolbox that sits in their dicky. They know what to keep where, and this car is with the representative, and he is moving around in the car. The whole car is tracked. It's geo-fenced. We know the organization know where is he going, what is he doing. So all these things can be offered at a very convenient price. Right. Next is the employee usage. I just told you. So there is no down payment. Insurance. Insurance is a very good USP here. We buy a standard, comprehensive, fully covered fully covered insurance. And then what happens if there is a damage that happens to a car? Now, we have an additional service called partial damage loss waiver. Now, irrespective of the number of times of the damage or the type of the damage, the difference between the garage repair bill and the insurance covered amount, insurance declared amount, whatever the gap is, generally about 20-30% of the garage repair bill is uncovered, and it's a surprise payout from your pocket. So sometimes people, just to avoid the cost, they continue with the dent and the damage. But with us, you just have to report to us. For all the eligible claims, 100% garage repair bill is paid by Ayvens. There is no questions asked. Of course, unless if there are too many repetitives and standard rejections like drunken driving, not having license, those things are kept aside, but otherwise most of it is all covered. So that is our insurance cover. So we have the tax exemption there on the entire rental value. Option to avail added services like relief car, pickup and drop service. These are all the value-added services that you can always buy and get on with the rental. Right? So I'm going to have, this is going to be my kind of last slide. So when we started off with our car lease policy, and when we signed up with few large corporates, most of the corporates did not come to this car lease policy. And few of them who came only gave it to the cream of the people, only the vice presidents and above, and the MDs, not for the entire employee. We did this for 10 years. We understood what's the market, why are they not doing it. They said two things. One is legal liability. If I give it to 600 people in my organization and lease about 60, 70 cars per year, I don't know where these cars are going, who's driving where, and my company board is out with these 600 people. Right? So anything happens, from a hit and run case to a no parking challan, it will land in my desk. We have some organizations who have a fleet of 4,000 vehicles. There's a constable who keeps on coming to that organization every day, even today. So this is a big hassle. Imagine if there is a big issue. Of course, there are situations. So the company will have to face it. So we provided them a solution. I said, we can register the cars in the name of the employee and make him party to the agreement. It was a bi-party all this while. Now we'll make it a tri-party. We will bring him, explain him his roles and regulations, risks and rewards, and XYZ, sign off on the master lease agreement. So he's aware. So this bit of legal liability moved away from the organizations. Right? So this is a very big game changer that happened. And suddenly we found the current organizations who are already with us dropped it down to all the levels. So we have huge offtake of cars from them. That's why we reached such big numbers. It didn't stop there. Some of them said, now we have financial liability. Employee absconds along with the car, he passes away. A lot of these unforeseen situations is there. Then company will have to foot the big bill. Then I said, okay, after another couple of years of research, we came up with another product called Yugo Connect. Okay. The vehicle is getting registered in the name of the employee anyway, so he's a party to the agreement. Now we will do his individual credit check. We will check his creditability day zero, make him feel like, we're going through a bank loan kind of process. And we sign off this agreement with all the companies and says that if the employee absconds along with the car, he passes away, whatever, unforeseen situations, we will not come to the organizations for any financial liability. Wow, this is like, you can't have more plums on the cake. Right? So this became a very big thing for organizations, and this again gave a big hit. This is just a newly launched product just a couple of years ago. Organizations are catching up with this. So with this, we solve all the problems for an organization to make sure they cannot say no to a car lease policy for their employees. Legal liabilities is gone, financial liabilities is gone, and the whole thing is customized, and everything, all this, whatever I'm talking, comes and sits through an app or a web-based app in their system. They can sit and shop for the cars. We have a huge network of sales team who will go maybe visit them, talk to them, give all the policies, demonstrations to the teams, and then bring up the car lease policy. Right? So, so this resolved one more problem. I don't know how loud I can say this here. So when people leave the organizations, generally in a car lease policy, they are kind of surprised to see a huge amount of settlement amount that at times will be higher than the F&F. So sometimes they even call back the decision. So this has happened. So with this, we can convert that into a private lease. Same rentals can be passed on to him. We stop billing the organization. We start billing him. He doesn't have to pay a huge amount there. I mean, too many wow factors here, but I don't see it from them, so but it's okay. But yeah, these are the factors that we have gotten, made the car lease policy more robust, more convenient, and more hassle-free for the organizations. Yet keep all the services intact, right? So we are associated with Vishnu Cars, a very prominent Maruti dealer today, and he's displayed the Maruti, the latest Maruti Swift car. So for a few of you all, if you have not seen the car, you can take a look at it. Look at the rental per month, 18,896 is the rental for this car. Had this been a bank loan with this, I don't know what model, ZXi Plus, there would be a couple of lakhs of down payment, and the rental would be definitely more than 25,000 rupees, plus the insurance, plus the maintenance, all plus, plus, plus. Now, everything is included, no down payment, and 18,000 rupees is your rental minus 30%. If you can calculate that, your net outflow would be anywhere by, let's say, 10 or 11,000 rupees, and you drive a Swift for 4 years. I mean, yeah, this is another car. I think Vitara Delta is what we've got. This is about 30,000, 29,000 rupees, same parameters. Yeah, thank you. So how many of you all want to sign for the car lease policy? I'll just try my luck. Nobody? All right, thank you, thank you. Yeah, definitely yes. I mean, if you have the intent, then rest everything will take care. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Seshadri. I would request you to please stay back on the dais. And to do the honors, I would like to call Mr. Prakash Ranganathan from Novak Technology Solutions Limited. Can we have a huge round of applause for Mr. Seshadri?